record to the computer. So now what we are going to do is I'm going to share the screen with you and we will search our mail. Okay, let me check my mail. So that's the mail that we have. It will take some time because we are using our Zoom version as well, and alongside we are just downloading the PDF. It will take some time, so kindly manage with that. So let me download that. So yeah, here you go. So there are 7 pages of the same. We will start by the title of it. Okay, so what's the title? What's the title of it? Anybody who knows that?
The homecoming.
And what is the significance of the title? I would like to know that. What is the significance of the title? What is the significance of the title Homecoming? This one. Anybody who knows that? I'm just figuring it out. Yeah, this is the one. That's the main thing. Homecoming. Whose arrival to the home is being described in this particular term, like homecoming?
Prapathik.
Yeah. Who is Pathik? Who is Pathik? Is there any
Sir, he
correlation?
is the ringleader of the boys.
Yeah, that's what you are reading from. I guess the chapter itself. So let's start without wasting time. Okay. If somebody would come, we will see that we will let them join in. Okay. And kindly also let me know that if there is any barricade on, like joining the class, or if I have put some barricade on that, like if I have put the waiting room on, if it is on, then let me know that, please. Okay, so shall we begin now? Yeah,
Yes,
so
sir.
Yes.
this is your chapter number 4. Okay, so this is your chapter number 4, and there are other two things also to be done. I think some of the acts and the scenes must be added to your previous, like Julius Caesar. We will see through that also. But this time, what we are going to focus on is Homecoming by Rabinderanath Tagore. We will see through each of the lines, like how and what we can do about them, and what is the simplest of the meaning for each of the line. Okay, so let's begin and dive into the chapter without any further delay. Okay, so who is the main character? Pathik Chakrabarti. So Chakrabarti, obviously, the Chakrabarti as a surname is concerned. So this surname usually is available in the West Bengal. Like basically the Bengali name, it's a Bengali name. Okay, so Chakrabarti is a Bengali name. Uh, this Pathik Chakravarti was a ringleader. Okay, ringleader, that means the main leader of somebody. Like he was a ringleader among the boys of the village. Like he must be living in a village. Okay, and he was the main leading person of that particular group of boys that was living in that village. A new mischief got into his head. So anybody who knows the meaning of mischief, if somebody can tell me what is mischief, what is the meaning of mischief? We say that like Tom is a mischievous boy. Sorry to say, but Mehak, your voice is not audible. Whomsoever is speaking, the voice is not audible. There is a kind of cutting in the voice. If I have to put
Sir,
into the simple word,
Shararti.
yeah, Shararti. So naughty person can be called as mischievous person, but mischief.
Sir,
So mischief is a different stuff. Mischief is by the naughty person, but mischief is intentionally done. Uh, if somebody is doing something wrong to someone intentionally, your voice is not audible. Kindly keep your mic off. Kindly keep your mic off because I think Amanpreet, whomsoever is Amanpreet, kindly keep your mic off. Harjot, do you know who is this?
So no.
So we should know that, like, who is Amanpreet.
Sir Mehak.
Okay, she was Mehak only. So that's why, like, the sound was not audible. So that's why there was no voice from her side. And anyways, maybe she's out of the station or maybe out of the like network area. So a new mischief means he was mischievous earlier before also. So now also, so a new mischief got into his head. So when we say somebody is mischievous, the people won't like the person on a common note. Like people won't like to talk to that person. Like somebody who is very mischievous, people won't like to talk and have a conversation with the person and will try to avoid that person. So same thing was happening with this person, Pathik Chakravarti. So he is also a mischievous guy, and a mischief or a particular kind of naughty act came in his mind and in his head, and there was a heavy log lying on the mud flat of the river. So mud flat of the river, that means the kind of boggy river. Boggy means there is a kind of what we say land. Marshy land itself means like where is we have some kind of soil and we get into it, and once we get into that, so we are unable to easily get out of that. Okay, so that is the kind of mud flat of the river. Okay, so a log was lying into that, so waiting to be shaped into the mast for a boat. So it was like it was ready for making a mast of the boat. So mast of the boat is the main pole that which is required in the boat for it to be very firm and strong. Like for the boat to be very firm and strong, it has to be the one like which is required. Okay, so he decided that they should all work together to shift the log. Okay, what he decided was like they should all work together to shift the log. So by main force from its place. Okay, so he told the other boys that what we are going to do is we are going to pick up that log from that place, and by the main force from its place, and we'll roll it away. We will roll it away to some other place, and we will try to make a mast of that. Okay, so mast of that means like for the sake of making the boat of it. So they will try to do that. The owner of the log would be angry. So what is written, the owner of the log would be angry. So that means this log of wood belongs to someone, and that is the mischievous act. Okay, so that is one of the mischievous act. Like he would be angry, he wanted to make somebody angry, and he wanted to create a like act of surprise for him, that something is done on his part, like which is wrong. Okay, and they would all enjoy the fun. So they all will enjoy the whole fun. That what is that? Like they will enjoy this thing, that how the owner is getting angry. So to make somebody angry, maybe some people become happy. Okay, and that is called the mischievous act. Like that is the difference between being naughty and being mischievous. Mischievous is something like more to the cunning side, and naughty means like somebody is naturally naughty. Okay, so here somebody is trying to actually make someone angry, so that's why the person is mischievous, and they want to have the fun with that by making someone angry. So it's like teasing someone. Everyone seconded the proposal, like nobody actually said yes to the proposal in the beginning. It means that like everyone said that you do that first, you do that first, then we will do it, we will follow you, we will actually join you, we will accompany you, we will just do as you will say. But nobody came forward to break the ice, nobody came forward to actually take the action. Okay, that is why everyone seconded the proposal. What is the proposal? There are two words which actually gets confused together. Sometimes the purpose is getting confused with propose. Okay, propose is something like it's always taken in a wrong sense. Propose is never meaning like you're proposing someone or you're saying something like very much to your beloved one. It's not like propose. Proposal means anything which is an agreement between two people, and somebody is there to actually take the first move. So the proposal was that like someone has to do it, so it was carried unanimously. Like so this proposal was carried unanimously, nobody knew that who started it. Unanimously means like here nobody is known to the fact that who actually had started that. Okay, so it became unanimous for others to know like how the whole things will proceed. Okay, like who will do that thing, who will do that stuff. Okay, now Makhan, who is the new character? Makhan. Makhan only moved to a more comfortable position. Mehak, have you read this chapter before? I would like Mehak to actually respond.
Yes, sir, we have done it.
Did I do that? Did I do that? I just want to know that. Have I done that before?
Yes,
Hello?
yes, sir.
I've done that. Really?
Sir,
I'm
in
not.
last class we did.
Okay. So that's why I thought that. Like there's something like which is known to me. Like I don't know like whether I've done that or not. Okay. Anyways. So the whole chapter was done. You mean to say that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there is no cause for it to be done again, I guess. So Ronit was there when we were doing that. Ronit, were you there at that time?
Sir, no.
Okay. And what about Harjot?
सर पता नहीं चेते ही नहीं बनता.
But that's not right, bro. That's not right.
Makhan.
So that's not right. But I would say that Harjot saying this thing that I don't even remember that. It's like a careless answer, I guess. Isn't that? It's a careless answer. Okay. So don't give such kind of answers to me. I don't like such things. And even if you say that like I haven't gone through that, like you know that like whom you're talking to, okay? You should know that. So if we haven't done that, I would tell everybody else also to be focused on it so that I can ask you some questions about the same if somebody has done that. Mehak, as you said that we have done that before, so I would like you to answer such questions in between those tricky lines, and whenever we are going through line by line, then definitely you have to be ready for the questions to be answered. Okay, would you mind doing that?
Okay, sir. Yes.
You should say no. Anyways, if
Oh, yeah. Okay, okay.
it's okay. If Pathak was to keep his regal dignity, regal means, what do you mean by regal dignity? Magnificent. Regal means like kingly kind of, majestic, like somebody who is a king or the prince will have the regal dignity. So the kind of aura somebody has of regality, then definitely that would be grand, kind of massive one. So Pathak was to keep his regal dignity. Obviously, Pathak is the bigger one. So definitely, he has to keep his regal dignity that I'm the leader of everyone. So the leader will think of himself to be better than the others. So that's why Pathak was to keep his regal dignity before the public. So public here means to say the other boys. So it was clear he ought to carry out his threat. So when he said that like I will thrash you or something, like he said it to his brother, that I will thrash you if you will not get down or something, I think we missed something. Let me check. Let me erase all such drawings. Like yeah, we missed something. That's why I was thinking that something is missed. Now, the paragraph before was like, but just as the fun was about to begin, like as they were thinking of to do some fun, so the Makhan, the Pathik's younger brother, walked up. Like sauntered up means like walked up, as we, yeah, now I know that we have read that, and sat down on the log in front of them all without a word. So without saying any single bit of meaning or creating any kind of fuss, or like interpreting anything. So he sat down on the log in front of them all without a word, and the boys were puzzled for the moment. He was pushed rather timidly. Timidly. That means, timid means like somebody who is in the fear. Rather timidly, that means having a fear in the heart, like he was being pushed by one of the boys and told to get up, but he remained quite unconcerned. Unconcerned means he did not pay any heed to anyone. He did not pay any heed to anyone means he did not give any due care or due value to the statements of the person. So he remained unconcerned for that time being. When somebody pushed him like and said that get up from that log, he remained unconcerned. He appeared like a young philosopher meditating on the fertility of the games. So it was looking like, appeared means it was looking like a young philosopher meditating on the fertility of the games. So fertility means uselessness. Okay, so he was looking like a young philosopher used to make their philosophic statements, but they on their own philosophy they say something. And particularly when they say something like, yeah, whatever they say is right, then definitely that's their own philosophy, and it's kind of like their own interpretation of life. So but they are not right about it, but still they do it. Okay, so the young philosopher meditating on the fertility of the game. Meditating means like he was pondering on, he was thinking about it, like on the fertility of games. So he was thinking of that, why they are playing, they should not play, they should, you know something like he has to, like he makes it clear that he's a philosopher and you have to follow what I am thinking. So he kept on sitting on that particular log of wood. And the Pathak was furious. Furious means angry again, like as it is written there also. So Pathak was furious. Just a second. So Pathak was furious, and Makhan, he cried, and in angry mood he said that, Makhan, if you don't get down this minute, I'll thrash you. What do you mean by thrash you? Anybody? What do you mean
Sir,
by
kill you?
I will like thrashing? It doesn't mean like killing anyone. Yeah. Anyone? The people who have done the chapter before, they can also actually answer. That's unfair. Like as you said that we have done the chapter. Again, the voice is not audible. Anyways.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. It's all good. So, are you able to see the screen? No, all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now, thrash means to beat. To beat someone means to thrash. Okay, the way the teacher sometimes can the other person, like can the kids sometimes in India, like if the kids are not behaving well, then the teachers used to. In our times, it was very common thing. Like the teacher used to beat us, and we are blessed to have such teachers because that makes you disciplined one, and that makes you always be online. Okay. Online doesn't mean like you are using internet. Online means like remaining intact with the life. Okay. So Makhan only moved to a more comfortable position instead of actually listening to what he said, what his like brother said. So he, instead of following his command, he moved to the more comfortable position rather than that. So now, if Pathak was to keep his regal dignity, now there comes the main line like where we were. So if the Pathak was to keep his regal dignity before the public, it was clear he ought to carry out his threat. Ought to here means like it was his obligation to do that, like it was obligatory and it was even required at that time, and the time's necessity was there that like he had to do what he was saying, as he has said that like because to keep his regal dignity, and he was a leader, then if he won't do what he was saying, then he won't be called as a leader accordingly, like the kind of statements he used to make before his friends. So that is why he had to make things up like whatever he was saying. But his courage failed him at the crisis. Like his courage was actually not that much to actually do the same thing. But his fertile brain, but his mind and the brain was quite sharp. Okay, so he did not have the courage or he did not have the guts to do that thing, okay, to slap him, but he had a fertile brain, however rapidly seized upon a new maneuver which would discomfit his brother. Like he had an idea in the mind. Maneuver here means like he would do another effort. Actually, maneuver means to effort, and like he had another effort in his mind to do, like which would discomfit the brother. That means which will not which will not be liked by his brother. उसके भाई को पसंद नहीं आएगा वो. He won't like it, and afford his followers an added amusement. So which would not only discomfit his brother and afford his followers an added amusement. Like me, he wanted to create fun, so definitely it would create fun for the people as well. Like whomsoever is listening, they will be happy with that one, whatever he was having in the as an idea in the mind. He gave the word of command. He gave the word of command to roll the log and Makhan over together. Like he will move together along with, like, as he was not getting up from that, so he thought that why not to actually let him go along with. So Makhan heard the order and made it a point of honor to stick on. He thought that, like, if he would be sitting, like, he would be like thinking himself to be a king of that particular place. So Makhan heard the order and made it a point of honor to stick on, but he overlooked the fact, like those who attempt earthly fame in other matters, that there was a peril in it. Like, he overlooked the fact that, overlook means like he ignored the fact, like those who attempt earthly fame, like people who want to be famous in on the earth, they will definitely have to go through some kind of peril means, I told you, the risk. Okay, they will have to face the risk and the, like, dangers. Peril means actually the danger. Okay, there was danger in it. Okay, now the boys began to have heave means to shake. Okay, the boys began to heave at the log with their might means power and strength, calling out 1 2 3 and go. So as they started doing that, like, they started, like, speaking 1 2 3 go. Okay, and at the word go, the log went. So at the word go, the log went, and along with that, Makhan's philosophy. So Makhan was having a philosophy that he was believing in the fertility of the games. It didn't matter to him, like, what they were doing. So that is why when that really happened, the Makhan was also along with it. So Makhan was sitting on the log. So that is why his glory, his philosophy, and all went along with the log. Okay. Now, next is, just a second. All the boys shouted themselves hoarse with delight, like they were having a cranky sound, or the, like what we said, they were giggling and laughing with delight. They were happy and they were jubilant. Why they were jubilant? Because they saw something which was very funny. But was a little frightened. So Phatik Chakrabarti was little frightened because, what do you mean by fright? Fright means fear. Fear means, like, obviously when you are threatened by something. So he was feeling frightened right at the moment Phatik did something wrong, and he knew that he has done something wrong. He knew what was coming, so he knew that what was going to come and what will happen to him. And sure enough, Makhan rose from Mother Earth, blind as fate. Okay, and he got up, like, from the earth, as a, like, you know the way the fate is blind. He did not knew his, like, blind as fate here means, like, he did not know his future. So what was to come? So as he kept on sitting on the log, he fell fell down from that log and fell on the earth. Okay, so that's why they have used a metaphorical kind of sense of knowledge, like, Makhan rose from mother earth, blind as fate and screaming like the furies. Okay, so he was screaming very loudly like furies. Okay, so here it means, if we say, like, fury is kind of anger, or a kind of, what we say, yeah. So if we really want to have the proper meaning for the furies, what does it mean? Quarrelsome, in a quarrelsome attitude, like the furies. Here it means to say, if somebody, like, a plural for extreme strength or the violence in an action. Okay, so that means he was very angry, I told you that, in an aggressive manner. So he rushed at Phatik and scratched his face. I remember my brother and me both used to, play together and sometimes fight also. He used to scratch my face sometimes. We used to fight like that, brothers, the way the brothers used to do. So he rushed at Pathik and scratched his face and beat him and kicked him and then went crying home. So he went back crying home, and obviously he would reach to the mother. Okay, the first act of the drama was over now. So now, till now, we know that like we would be thinking that Pathak Chakrabarti is not a good person. He did something wrong to his brother, and he did not even realize that he should say sorry for that. But Pathik wiped his face, okay, and sat down at the edge of the sunken barge on the river bank. Okay, so something which was like kind of big barge of the boat or something. So he sat on that, like half of the portion was into the sea, into the river, and he was sitting on the bank of the river. And at the edge, as he was sitting, Pathik wiped his face, like he cleaned his face, um, because like he did not want anything else to be done at that time, like he did not want anybody to know that thing. So, and began to chew a piece of grass, and the way it was told that he was a mischievous person, he started doing something like which was actually again a mischievous kind of activity. The kind of careless attitude has been shown through this statement, like began to chew a piece of grass. Okay, so like as he started to chew, what do you mean by chew? Chew means to nibble it. Nibble actually is a word for the mouse. The mouse used to nibble that one, but here it is like begin to chew a piece of grass. So he was like chewing the piece of grass, and he was sitting at the edge, and we know that. And then thereafter, like what happened was, a boat came up to the landing. Like now, as he was sitting near the river, and there was a boat that arrived near him, and it raced to the land area, and a middle-aged man with the gray hair and the dark mustache, okay, like, brother, don't abuse, bro. Recording चल रही है. A boat came up to the landing, and middle-aged man with grey hair and dark mustache stepped on the shore. Okay, so he was having the grey hair and dark mustache. Okay, stepped on the shore. He came on the shore. He came on the bank of the river, and he saw the boy sitting there, doing nothing. So he saw the boy sitting there, doing nothing. And as he started talking to the boy, like who is the person and where he wanted to go, he wanted to meet somebody, no? So definitely he asked the person, like asked him where the Chakrabartis lived. Obviously he was himself Chakrabarti. His name was Pathik Chakrabarti, we know that. So he asked him where the Chakrabartis lived. So Ronit, can you please tell me one thing, like why didn't Chakrabarti, like Pathik Chakrabarti, revealed his identity when the person asked him, like at the moment of like arrival, when he asked at one where the Chakrabartis lived, why didn't the Pathik replied that I am also Pathik Chakrabarti? Like why didn't he do that?
So
Ronit?
because the Makhan is the younger brother of Fatik.
So what what does it have to like relate to, how does it relate to that whole thing up? I didn't get it. Like even if they are brothers, but why would Chakrabarti, like Pathik Chakrabarti, like will try to hide it from a stranger who wants to know that why, like he's a Chakrabarti, like he's a Chakrabarti. It's a
I
very
don't know.
simple answer, like I would say, because the Pathik Chakrabarti was a mischievous person. So a new mischief came into his head at that time as well. Like he did not want to reveal, he was a careless person. Here in the beginning of the chapter, it has been clearly been shown that Pathak Chakrabarti was a very careless person. He did not care for anybody, and whatsoever people would say, it was not the matter of his life. He was always careless about it. So Pathak went on to chewing the grass and said, what he said was, over there, over there. That means over there was not clear which over there, like where to go. But it was quite impossible to tell where he pointed. That means he made a kind of indication to the house, but he did not made any indication by the hand, but simply he said from the mouth, over there. So if somebody would say, where is your house, and you will say that over there without making any indication, then definitely nobody would be able to understand that, like where the house is. So definitely it is difficult for the people to realize like the person is trying to tell me anything or is trying to help me out. So the stranger asked him again. He swung his legs to and fro. To and fro means back and forth. Back and forth means like in your mother tongue or vernacular language, if I would say. So it means like moving ahead, moving back, moving ahead, moving back, again and again. So he swung his legs to and fro on the side of the birds and said, go and find out. And then he made a careless statement. Go and find out yourself, like where they are living. And continued to chew the grass as before. He was chewing the grass and he started again doing the same shit. Okay, but now a servant came down from the house. Now a servant came down from the house, okay, and told Pathak his mother wanted him. So the servant who came down from the house, he came from the house of the Pathak, and he said that, your mother is calling you, go back to her. Pathak refused to move. Now at this time, Pathak said that no, I would not listen to this person as well, who is the servant in the house and is trying to tell him to do something. But the servant was the master on this occasion. Now this servant was not really the master, but still being elder to Pathak, what he did was he started slapping him. Okay, he took Pathak up roughly. He picked him like what we say, an animal. Like he picked him up and carried him, kicking and struggling in important rage. Here important means it's not important, it is impotent. Impotent means somebody who is having no potential, somebody who is having no power, somebody who is not having any strength. Okay, so important rage means like he tried to get rid of the servant, but the servant kicked him, thrashed him very much, and then he took him away. When Pathak came into the house, his mother saw him. When the Pathak entered the house, obviously he knew that Pathak was not going home, because he knew that his mother is going to ask him question that why you have beaten Makhan. Okay, so you have been hitting Makhan again. So she asked angrily. Out of anger, she asked him the question that, so you have been hitting Makhan again. So that means that thing happened earlier as well. So Pathak answered indignantly. Indignantly means like very carelessly, without even respect of any kind. No, I haven't. Who told you that? Like in an angry way, and he did not take it lightly, and he said that why you always like the way people used to act it in a way that, like, who told you that? I didn't do that. And his mother shouted again, don't tell lies, you have beaten him again. So Pathak said suddenly, I tell you, I haven't. You ask Makhan. But Makhan thought it best to stick to his previous statement. Okay, so he thought that Makhan said that no, he did that, and he said that yes, mother, Pathak did hit me. So Pathak said that, like, Pathak's patience was already exhausted. So patience, you know that very well. What is patience? Endurance. So Pathak's patience was already exhausted. He was already tired from the kind of stuff that he was doing, the little brother was doing, he could not hear this injustice. Injustice means something which is not dignified. So he did not like that the way that he said something like that. So he rushed at Makhan. He went very fast and furiously to near to the Makhan and hammered him with blows. Then take that, he said. He cried, and that for telling lies. He said that for telling lies, I'm beating you again. Now, just a second. I hope so that I'm not missing anything. So his mother took Makhan's sides in a moment. So obviously he again started beating him. So that's why the mother had no other choice, but she took the side of Makhan and pulled Pathik away and beating him with her hands. When Pathik pushed her aside, again Pathik did something which is not acceptable at all. So she shouted out, "What, you little villain, would you hit your own mother?" He said that, "Are you going to hit me as well?" Like he was beating his mother. So it was just as at this critical juncture that grey-haired stranger arrived. So the grey-haired stranger here means like the person who was asking him the way to the home of the Chakrabarti. So he arrived at that critical and the very serious juncture. So he asked, "What's the matter? What's the matter?" Pathik looked sheepish and ashamed. Sheepish, like behaving like a sheep. He is not at the mistake. He is not at the fault. He tried to pretend that like he was not doing anything wrong. So he was ashamed and embarrassed about what he was doing. But when his mother stepped back and looked at the stranger, so she stepped back and saw that like a stranger person came into the house, and her anger was changed to surprise. Because she was angry because of Chakrabarti, Pathik Chakrabarti, but now her anger changed into the surprise because she saw the stranger and she recognized the stranger, and this actually the person was not the stranger, for she recognized her brother, because that stranger was a brother, and he came to meet his sister and cried, "Why, Dada, where have you come from?" Okay. As she said these words, she bowed to the ground. Okay. She bowed to the ground. So it was a kind of like a gesture which was quite respectful. Okay. She bowed to the ground and touched his feet. Okay. And like the way it may be the culture in Bengal to touch the feet of the brother, but not in our case. In Punjab it is the opposite, like the brother can touch the feet of the sister, but not the sister will touch the feet of the brother. So her brother had gone away soon after she had married, and he had started business in Bombay. So he started doing the business in the Bombay, in the city of Bombay. So that is why like he came here to meet his sister. Had lost her husband while he was in Bombay. While he was in Bombay, he did not even come to the death of her husband, but Bishambar had now come back to Kolkata. Now this Bishambar is the name of the brother, and he came back to the Kolkata, his own place, and had at once made inquiries about his sisters. And he started earlier also, like he started finding out his sister, and he had then hastened to see her. Hasten means he came very fast to see her as soon as he found out where she was. Now he got to know like where she was, so he did that, like he reached to her his sister very fast. So the next few days were full of rejoicing. All those days like were like when they met again, like he was very happy, and she was also happy to meet her brother. The brother asked after the education of the two boys, like how both of them are doing, whether they are good in studies or not. So he was told by his sister that Pathik was a perpetual nuisance, like a regular nuisance. He was lazy, disobedient, and wild. So lazy, he was that very lethargic, he was very slow in doing things, he was disobedient, he did not follow anyone, and he was not following the commands of the elders. Okay, he was disobedient and he was wild. Wild means he was barbaric, he was not in control, that means to say in simple terms. But Makhan was as good as gold. So this Makhan was as good as gold, like she compared that this way. Okay, gold as quite as lamb, that means we know that lamb is a kind of cub of uh, what we say, um, okay, sheep, yeah. So, and very fond of reading. So he was very fond of reading, and Bishamber kindly offered to take Pathik off his sister's hand. So Bishamber was ready to take him along with, like this Pathik. He said that I will educate him with his own children in Calcutta, and the widowed mother readily agreed. She was widowed, her husband had been no more, so she thought that why not to give this custody of Pathik Chakrabarti, who was disobedient, who was not in control, who was like unjustifiable in many cases. So that's why he, you know, he tried to take him away. When his uncle asked Pathik if he would like to go to Kolkata with him, at that time Pathik became very agitated, and he became quite concerned about it. Like his joy knew no bounds. That means there was no control on his boundaries of joy. There were no control on them, and he said, "Oh yes, uncle," in a way that made it clear that he meant it. Like it was very clear that he he did not give a second thought. He should have given the second thought that it is very difficult to live for the boy like him to in a certain places which were quite like very city dwellings. So he would not be able to live with such peoples like who had different etiquettes. So it was an immense relief. Immense means huge relief to the mother to get rid of Pathik. Are you there, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You,
sir.
okay, are you getting it or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And if you are not getting it, let me know that. But at the end of the day, I must tell you that you need to improve yourself in your communication level as well. You should know that what you're saying and what you're reading. Like whenever you're finding a new word or you're trying to, run away from the new words, try to make sure that you're having a pocket dictionary with you and you're trying to find out as many words as possible using them. And I remember that my first year in your school, and in that particular year, I used to bring one newspaper along with, not one newspaper, there used to be one, two, three, four newspapers that used to be daily post, and I tried to give it to my students, and they used to read new words from that, and they were trying to write it down into the new vocabulary notebook every day. 5 to 6 words they used to read from that newspaper. So if you will have the habit of such categories, then definitely I would say that at least your vocabulary, your intent of learning will definitely increase. I must tell you that. So make sure that you're trying to actually improve yourself in your English. Okay, and keep your cameras on if you can. And what about Harjot and
Sir, I have joined from laptop today.
oh, laptop doesn't have the camera, that means. Anyways, it's okay.
No, sir, old model.
Old model. And what about Harjot? Yeah. So if there is any issue with the questions or the kind of statements that I'm making, I would ask you the questions after that because I'm free tonight. So if possible, if I won't feel dizziness, then definitely I'll keep on asking you some questions, because it's required that you have to be into the line again, like you should be serious about your education again. I know that what's going on in the school, and I know that what's going on in your lives also, but I just don't want to change the kind of stuff that you are living. So I just want that you all should be natural learners, and you should have the curiosity to actually come forward your own way, and be independent about it. Okay, so that is why I'm not interfering into the stuffs. But next is all up to you, that if you really want to improve yourself in English, then definitely I'm there to help you out. And I must tell you that you have stopped speaking in English. Maybe it is going to harm you a lot, because since you are the students of Mount Carmel, I don't expect that like you all are going to go back to the same thing, same stuff. Your Punjabi and your Hindi. That's a good thing that you're using your mother tongue, but that's good enough after you have read the subject. That's it. So I'm not saying that you have to speak English, you have to be in English always. You can speak in Punjabi, you can do everything in Punjabi. But once you are into the studies of English, just be into that language. And once you are switching over to another subject, then go back to our Punjabi language. So I think that is the fundamental that we are learning here. Okay, so she was in daily fear that he would either drown Makhan, sorry, it was immense relief to the mother to get rid of Pathak, and she had a prejudice against the boy. Prejudice, that means she had an ego, or she had an ego of, there is some difference in her attitude towards the both of the boys. Like she was down towards Makhan, and she was quite angry and furious towards the other boy, that was, Pathak. So, and now that there was no love was lost between the two brothers, so she was daily in daily fear that he would either drown Makhan someday in the river, or break his head in the fight, or run him into some danger or other. So she thought that he was not doing anything, Makhan was not doing anything wrong, but his brother was doing everything wrong. But at the same time, she was somewhat distressed to see Pathak's extreme eagerness to get away. Now, she was also hopeless, and she did not like that stuff, that the Pathak is extremely happy to run away from her, since there would be something that he did not like in the house. That is why he actually readily agreed that I should go along with my uncle, and in your vernacular language we call Mamaji. So he thought that I will go with Mamaji, and I will enjoy my life over there. He thought that there would be something new. So Pathak, as soon as all was settled, kept asking his uncle every minute when they were to start. So he kept on asking till the time the uncle was there to meet his sister. So he remained there for the timing he was there. Like he was being asked question again by the Pathik again and again, that when we will go back to your house. He was on pins and the needles all day long with excitement. So he was always on his steps, like, yeah, I'm going to go back, go to his uncle's house. So, and lay awake most of the night. He was just daydreaming that what he will do. He bequeathed to Makhan. Bequest means he gave everything to Makhan in perpetuity. His fishing rod, okay, like without even having a second thought about it, he gave fishing rod, a big kite, his marbles. Marbles means like the marbles that we play, okay, different marbles, okay, like indeed at this time of departure, his generosity towards Makhan was unbounded. There was no like boundary on his generosity, on his kindness, okay, because he was going. So that is why he thought that I should give everything to my brother. When they reached Kolkata, Pathak made the acquaintance of his aunt for the first time. How long had we been studying? I don't know, like how many pages are left. Like there are 3 pages left. I'm feeling a little tired. Are you guys tired or not? Okay. No. So when they reached Kolkata, Pathak made the acquaintance of his aunt for the first time. Acquaintance means jaan pehchan in your Hindi language. To make yourself aware of something or make yourself known to someone. So he made himself known to his aunt for the first time, and she was by no means pleased. She was not happy to see Pathak. She was not pleased. Pleased means happy with his this unnecessary addition to her family. She thought that already she's having her own kids. Said, wow, what is the need of this third kid again? Like she found her own 3 boys. Oh no, oh sorry, she was having already 3 boys. So quite enough to manage without taking on anyone else. So she was busy in actually doing the chores and all that stuff for those 3 boys, rather than actually thinking of the another person like as an addition. And to bring a village lad means a boy, a village boy of 14 into their midst was terribly upsetting. Okay, it was extremely upsetting for her to have him as an addition to the family. So Bishamber should really have thought twice. So he should have thought double time before committing such a indiscretion or doing any kind of stuff like that, and without even having a permission of wife, like whether I should do it or not. He created an indiscretion or kind of disturbance. Okay, so in this world of human affairs, there is no worse nuisance than a boy at the age of 14. So now there's a kind of description which is given about the kid who is of the 14 years of age. Like the kid used to be quite in the middle of the problems always. He's neither ornamental means he cannot be kept as any decorative material, nor useful. He is not useful at all for anything. So it is impossible to shower affection on him. There is no possibility of showing affection to such a kid, because the age is quite sensitive. At the time you can't show the kind of bubbly love to uh, the kid of 14. He's always getting in the way. Like if he talks with the childish lisp, he's called a baby, and if he answers in the grown up way, he's called impertinent, like you are trying to be more than mature. So it doesn't look nice on his part, or even of his age, that he would be dealt very rudely all the times. In fact, any talk of all age, if anyone talks of all like the age, he grows out of his clothes with indecent haste. Like his clothes became very short, he became very tall, and like something like his voice grew hoarse, like it became quite cranky and breaks and quavers. Like it became shaky and it breaks also sometimes. His face grew suddenly angular and unsightly. So his face also was not looking good. Then it is easy to excuse the shortcoming of early childhood. Like the age before the 14 years of age can be excused for some reasons, but it is hard to tolerate even unavoidable lapse in the boy of 14. Somebody lapses means like some issues, some blocks, some hurdles that are in the life of like a boy of 14 years of age. It was very difficult to tolerate and endure or bear. So the lad himself becomes painfully self-conscious. He became like he was aware that he's of 14 years of age. Now nobody takes care of him. He became self-conscious. Conscious means to be known to himself. Self-conscious means to be known to himself properly. He was self-conscious that he was not regarded well, but he talks with elderly people when he talks with elderly people, he's either unduly forward, he was quite like, it was like he became little immature in that sense, and else was unduly shy, that he appears ashamed of his very existence. It was looking like he did not know how to respond to anybody's questions. So yet it is yet it is at this very age when he, in his heart of hearts, a young lad most craves for recognition and love. So at this particular age, like a young child would definitely think for himself as being recognized by someone, or like being shown love of someone. He becomes a devoted slave of anyone who would show him consideration. If somebody would give him considerance, or would try to say that like you are important for us, then definitely he would become the slave of that person. But none dare openly love him. For that he would be regarded as undue indulgence. Like he would try to indulge more and more and more once he was given the reward of being considered somewhere. So that is why, therefore, bad for the boy. So what? So with scolding and chiding, he becomes very much like a stray dog that has lost his master. Stray dog means like a dog that lives on the street. So he was like a street dog who doesn't have any master. So he was like that only, like he was being scolded, he was being chided, but he was not being rewarded in any sense. For a boy of 14, his own home is a very is the only paradise. Okay, so we will. What is the page number? Like, yeah, page number 5. So what we will do is we will begin. We will actually resume from this particular page tomorrow, but your would be the evening time. Tonight in the evening time we will resume again with the same chapter. I hope so you are understanding my point of view. You getting my point?
Yes, sir.
We will resume with the same chapter, and we will have the pleasure of actually completing it as well, and we will see that what we can do about the next poem that you have. Okay, there are 2 pages left, one of this and these 2 pages and the last one. So very less is left, but I would ask Ronit Harjot to actually read up to what we have read till now. Are you okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I expect that thing that you will definitely read it, and will try to memorize or remember those words, that I actually told you to, you know, read, or whatever I have read, you would actually, you know, read that. Okay, are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Right now my even statements are going this or that. I'm tired, I just want to sleep, I have some sleep, and I just want to, you know do some prayers for my brother. So take care of yourself, all of you, and pray for my brother to get well as soon as possible. Thank you.
Bye, sir.
Bye bye, take care. Bye
Bye, sir.
Dharamveer. Oh, Dharamveer was there. Ronit also. Bye bye.